Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is my first video ever. I've never read cards in a general public form before, only ever in personal readings. So I hope you guys like it. You can choose piles either by stone, they're all amethyst, or by the card. I am using the messages from the Spirits of Nature Oracle and also the Relative Tarot. And if I need to, I will further be clarifying with the regular Rider-Waite Tarot. So I hope you guys like it. Okay, pile 1. If you chose the Lover's card, this is your reading. And you also chose the Skull Amethyst, which is kind of already telling me something. But we're going to first begin by going into this book by Sadhguru. And I will be choosing pages based off the numbers they have on the sides. So let's begin. Okay, so page 15. Now, if we do not break these internal and external patterns, nothing new will ever happen. You might have noticed that the more successful you become, the more frustrated you get, because somewhere unconsciously you sense that you are simply going around in circles. You may have learned to ride the cycle, but you are not free from it. Okay, so for starters, what I am getting from that is that you may be having some issues with love, and maybe bringing certain cycles to an end when it comes to love. So let's kind of get further into this. The Eagle. And Volcano, release. Okay, so one of the first things I've noticed from these cards, again because you did choose the amethyst that resembles the skull, and based off of the reading that I just read, I feel like you might be having trouble letting go of a current lover or of a past lover. The reason I also see this is because in the regular tarot, the number 13 also represents death, which of course is going back to closing cycles. And I feel like you're not seeing the bigger picture of what's going on here within these lovers that you may be having issues with. You need to look at things from a much higher perspective, because you could be setting yourself up for situations that are very toxic, or if not toxic, then it is, how do I put this in words? You are about to erupt, literally, by the sign of the volcano. And what I mean by that is that you could be, in a sense, losing it right now. If you are currently with somebody, you are kind of at your wit's end. And maybe what the eagle represents here is that you're finally able to see through the bigger things from a higher perspective, of course. Or better yet, that you need to see the bigger picture from that higher perspective of why you need to let these things go. Now, you could be dealing with a twin flame here, because this is the Lover's card. And again, remember that twin flames can be the best relationship ever or the worst, depending on where you are currently in your state of mind, in your state of emotions. So if you are not okay currently, if you're going through it, understand that your twin flame is going to be going through it as well. And if you guys aren't taking the necessary steps to heal yourself in the aspects of love, or in the aspect of anything in general in your life, then you are bringing that negativity into your love life, which is what is greatly affecting your relationship. Now, usually you see the lovers in the regular Rider-Waite Tarot closer together. And in this card specifically, what I'm assuming is supposed to be Cupid is kind of standing in between them, which is only furthering my message here, that maybe you need to take some time out, release this relationship that you're currently in, or release those past lovers, or simply take your time to really heal yourself before you go out searching for love. Let me pull some more clarifiers. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. Okay, this is only kind of furthering the message here. What I feel like you're dealing with here is probably a past lover, because he looks like he's from the past, like a past soldier. And I feel like one of the main reasons that you're having trouble letting go could be a financial reason, because it is the Knight of Pentacles, excuse me. The Page of Pentacles, okay. Yes, I think what is keeping you here definitely is financial reasons. Maybe you don't have the finances to let go of this relationship simply because you rely too much on this relationship financially. Or you are trying to set yourself up financially to be able to release the situation. One of the biggest issues when it comes to abusive relationships or what have you, one of those things is financial abuse, where certain partners who hold the bigger financial duties will keep their partner kind of stuck because they won't release their finances, or they are completely financially dependent on said partner, and said partner knows this and uses it to their advantage. I usually don't talk about these things, so the fact that this is coming to mind is kind of what it seems like. Yeah, definitely. The Five of Pentacles. If you do have a child, I can see why. Obviously, the Five of Pentacles talks about financial struggles. And I feel like if you really see the emotions on the child and the mother, they are not happy in this financial situation that they are in. But they are alone. There is nobody else with them. So that tells me that if there is a child in between this relationship, that is what's keeping you back. I completely understand, first of all, but also don't be afraid to struggle financially if it means releasing a toxic relationship. Because, again, with the volcano in the back, it is going to come to an end one way or another, regardless, because there's too much pent-up energy behind this. So, Spirit, what advice do you have for pile 1 as far as releasing anything toxic when it comes to relationships without causing harm, please? The Knight of Swords. In essence, let's see, Ten of Swords. Oh, there's a lot of pain behind this. I feel like Six of Wands. You might have to just kind of take a leap of faith here and just cut it off, or if you can, start kind of teaching yourself to cut off those toxic behaviors, whether they're on your end or on your person's end. It might come with a lot of pain, with a lot of struggle. Trust me, it's not easy, but you have success on your hands. You definitely do. Although it's going to take a lot of strength and a lot of time, probably, you are going to come out on the winning end. You might not have the proper people to fall back on, but understand that you don't need to, because you alone have the power to be able to get out. Don't be afraid, and I'm sure there's a lot of communities out there that are willing to help if you simply, kind of speak up and ask for that help. Again, I don't think you need it. I think you're very capable of doing it on your own, because if you realize in each one of these cards, aside from the child, it is alone. This is a journey that you have to go through alone. Your child, if there is one in between this, is not going to be a factor in this. Understand that there is times where certain relationships don't know how to handle their problems without bringing their child into the picture. But I feel like in this situation, if there is a child in between, your child will first of all understand that what needed to be done got done for the betterment of your future, of their future. And second, you have to worry about yourself first, because if you do not take care of yourself, you will not have the capabilities of taking care of said child. And that is something that the Spirit is highly, highly telling you right now. Again, look at the bigger picture in the end. Right? This is something, again, it's going to come to an end one way or another. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'd say one of the other bigger things that I can tell you is maybe it's time for you to stop taking from this relationship, and not in a bad way, but I feel like this person kind of keeps you, in a sense, happy by offering you little things here and there. Again, it is a lot of it to do with finances. So if they kind of throw money at you when they feel that they are about to lose you, then that is how they know that they are keeping you. So it's going to have to take a lot of strength for you, but it's absolutely necessary that you stop taking these little offers from them, because they are full-fledged taking advantage of that. But also I feel like what Spirit's telling you here is that they have been offering you or showing you ways out, and you may be too deep into it, into your head, into the situation, that you're not seeing their signs. And it's signs that, if you kind of notice the distinction between the images and the picturesque Spirit guide here, is that they are pretty blunt signs. The signs are there, and you're just in your head, because it's almost as if these are signs that don't fit in. Anybody else could be looking around you and seeing these signs, and the only one not seeing them is you, because these are pretty out there signs. These aren't just like stuff that blends in, anything you really ever seen before or heard or dealt with. And I think, again, you're too full into your problems. Does he love me? Does he love me not? Does she love me? Does she love me not? That you're not realizing Spirit's telling you, here's the answer, go, run with it, Five of Swords. Definitely. Okay, so I'm saying you might have lost family or friends along the way because of this. They might have been telling you from the beginning or throughout the relationship that they've seen the problems, and it's caused problems and a lot of drifting between you guys. Yeah, definitely. think you've drifted a lot from people that have been willing to help you, and now you're in conflict with these people, and I feel like that's probably another reason why you feel stuck, that like you can't turn to them for help no longer, because it's like maybe they've cut off communication with you, which is completely okay. Things happen, but most importantly, like I said, remember that this is going to be your win. This is you. You're making it out on your own. Spirit, is there anything else that pile 1 needs to know? One step at a time. Not everyone has things figured out. Look ahead. You have a very bright potential future. You're very guided. There is a lot of spirit energy around you that is willing to help you. Open yourself up. See the bigger picture. No matter how hard those hard times get, you are going to pull through. And I hope that if you really do need the help, you get the help that you need, and that you're able to escape without anything else really happening to you. If there is a child in the picture, understand that this is going to be better for their future as well. I think that's it for pile 1. Bye guys, see you on the next one. And I hope everything works out for you. Thank you. Okay, just cleansing really quick. There was some very heavy energies in pile 1. But let's get started. Pile 2, if you choose the cubed amethyst or the tower card, this is your reading. To start off, I am going to be reading a passage from this book by Sadhguru, and I am going to be choosing based on the number here, 16, so I'll be turning to page 16. Okay, getting called to this right now. There was a time when human beings wrote on stone tablets. From stone tablets we moved to leaves, and then we came to books. From books we moved to cassettes and CDs. We have now come to the age of the microchip. What could be stored on 1,000,000 stone tablets is encrypted in the tiniest speck imaginable. It won't be long before technology finds a way to start recording information on pure energy itself. This may not yet have manifested in modern technology, but eventually it will happen. I say this is not out of any technological knowledge, but because I know how the inner mechanism works, and the atomic and the cosmic, the individual and the universal marry each other on every level. Okay, pile 2. So what I kind of got from that is that you might be mirroring or kind of soaking up a lot of what life is going through right now. I think you're very one with what's going on. I think you have probably started to really deep dive into a lot of things which have started to make your life kind of crumble, or maybe your past idealisms kind of crumble, and you are starting to kind of mirror a higher energy that has kind of maybe thrown you off balance a little bit, or kind of significantly changed the way of your thinking. But let's just go ahead and get started with the cards and see what this is about. So obviously, again, with the crumbling of stuff, what I got from that, as well as with the card, is again the crumbling of certain ideas that you might have kind of been too adhered to in some kinds of ways. I feel like your mindset might have been rocked. maybe your eyes got opened to a bigger picture that you had no intentions or clue of what was going on, really. Wow. Let's just go ahead and get started with the rest of the cards and see what the rest of this is about. Okay. Moon cycles. Cloud imagination. Oh, definitely. Okay. So, if you're watching this from the moment I upload it, and this is my first video, so hopefully I'm able to upload it fairly quickly. But the summer solstice just passed, and it was yesterday. If you live in the western part of the United States, the West Coast, that is, we are currently experiencing some thunderstorms today. And on top of that, I know we just had I believe a strawberry moon. Don't quote me on that though. And if I'm not mistaken, it was also a supermoon. As well as not too long ago, we also just had the eclipse. So, oh God, I feel like you are going through some major changes right now. You might not be noticing this just quite yet. Maybe it's time that you do start paying attention to more of the moon cycles and seeing how that is affecting you. Are you more prone to higher emotions during these times? Do you feel more irritated? Do you feel more elevated? Do you feel more isolated? It's really up to you to really kind of pick up from that, you know. I think you need some time to yourself. Don't isolate yourself in a negative form. Don't you know, just don't hold yourself in a depression. But I do feel like what you need to do is maybe, if you're near a beach, if you're near some kind of natural water source, I think you need to spend some time out, specifically during the nighttime, where you could see the moon and the stars, to really continue on contemplating or figuring your thoughts out. Because I feel like right now you might be having too many clashing thoughts, or you might be going through a self-discovery that is really putting you at odds with yourself. Maybe your formal ideals are clashing with newer ones that you are discovering. What I'm getting now, if you are on the younger side, I feel like one of the things that might be happening is that you could be having issues with your parents. Now, this doesn't have to be anything major, but maybe you have different idealisms from them. A good example of this is, for example, me. It took a long time for me to kind of create my own life away from my parents, without really worrying about their disapproval of the way I live or not, you know? So I feel like maybe in a sense you're kind of going through the same thing. Maybe it's a clash of, you know, aesthetics, because that's kind of what it was with me. I like a lot of black. I like rocker music. I like skulls. I like, you know, and my parents are nothing like that. And I feel like that's something similar to what you're going through, where your parents maybe want you to be a certain type of way and you are not willing to conform to that because you want to be your own person. And I feel like maybe late at night, that's something that you really contemplate, or worse, I think you, not necessarily worse, but what I think you could be doing is almost having a double life, where, you know, in front of your parents, in front of your family, you are one person, but when you're out with your friends, when you're at school, when you are out in public, away from them, you live a completely different life, or you have completely different ideals than what they do. Maybe they're extremely religious and you're questioning whether you even believe in religion or not. Another reason I'm getting this is because I feel like you're very deeply into your imagination. Maybe you're the type of person that you look up at clouds and you see animals and shapes, and you are probably full on wild in your imagination, you know, but maybe you have very conformist or very conservative family members, and that's somewhere where you might clash, you know. Maybe you're someone that believes in unicorns and magic, and they are full-fledged against all of that, you know, what have you. But I feel like you are definitely going through some very how do I put this? You're changing. You know, I think maybe you've rocked their world by bringing in your new ideas, your new perspectives, and maybe they are having troubles accepting you, or having troubles kind of letting things be with you, letting you live your own life. Maybe it's because of your age. Maybe it's because it's just too radical of a change that they didn't really expect to see from you. But I'm going to pull some more clarifiers right now so we can keep this reading going. Seven of Pentacles. Okay. Six of Pentacles. Okay. You know what I think? I think someone might have planted some seeds in you. And I don't mean like impregnation or anything, unless it is that, but what I feel like it's more so is that someone might have opened your eyes, or given you a different perspective that at first might have caused some doubt. But in time, you have started to kind of explore those ideas a little bit more. Almost in a sense like a reap what you sow kind of a thing, you know, like maybe you had a sibling or an outsider kind of tell you that, hey, you don't need to live your life according to what your parents want you to. You can live the life that you want, and in a sense create better abundance for yourself, because this is the Pentacles. Maybe you're clashing because of what you want for your future, career-wise. If you're at college, maybe you have decided to change majors, and maybe this isn't something that they've wanted or that they've agreed with, or better yet, I think if this is more of a self-discovery thing, then you have discovered that, or have started to discover that what you wanted to initially start doing wasn't fitting your ideals, and you have been contemplating whether you need to change that, whether you need to explore a different major or a different, you know, let's keep this going. King of Swords. I almost wonder if this has caused a complete cutoff of communication, specifically with the father figure. Or also, if you are in college, if this does deal with something to do with school and school matters, I feel like maybe you have some kind of a professor or a counselor of some sort that is kind of really backing you, right? And they're telling you, you know what, you got this. This is meant for you. This is something that is going to benefit you in the further run because it is more seen to fit with your ideals, right? And because of it, it's going to bring you again more abundance because it's something that will fit you personally a lot better. And again, maybe because this person, you know, if it is to do with major changes and stuff, it could have been someone that you were studying with in one major, and they kind of told you this isn't for you. You need to change that. You probably fit somewhere else a little bit better. And maybe that broke you. Maybe that kind of shook your core because you were maybe so dead set on that when this person came and told you, hey, this isn't for you, it kind of threw you off. It you know, broke you down, broke your tower, broke your ideals, and maybe you weren't expecting that, or better yet, if you were so fixed on that and someone kind of came in, opened that door for you and said, hey, you have better possibilities elsewhere. And, you know, maybe at first you were kind of being stubborn and saying, no, this is for me. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But in recent times, you have started to kind of contemplate it a little bit more. This is the Lover's card, but I feel like this doesn't actually have to do with love. I feel like what I'm picking up from this more is you following a better passion for you. And I feel like if you couple these up, what these could represent are you know, your higher spirits, higher beings kind of telling you you're backed in. You know, you have that support. Maybe you may not have it through parents or what have you, but they're telling you, you know what, it's your passion. We're here, we're with you. Don't worry about it. And you know, what better card to get than the Ten of Pentacles in a reading like this, because what that's telling you is that this could be your best financial stability, you know, and again, you might still not be fully on there on the mental level. Maybe you're still contemplating this, but if this is the sign that you needed to see, then take it for what it is. This in the long run is going to be better for you and for your family. There's a lot of success to come your way, really. So in the sense, that tower needed to be shaken, you know. Those ideals, they needed to be changed. And again, you know, with better cards, Six of Wands, this is your success. You are here to do it on your own, to make what you want of it. Okay, I think that is all I have for you today, pile 2. I really hope you like this reading and that you come back for more. Thank you. Okay, if you chose the Tumbled Amethyst or the High Priestess, pile number 3, this is for you. So what I have been doing is choosing the numbers on here to read from the passages from this book. So I'm going to go ahead and turn to page 20. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay. Okay, so since yogis constantly aspire to enhance their perception, the snake is particularly important presence in the yogic tradition. The cobra is revered as the only creature that can perceive the subtle etheric dimension, even in the daytime. Not surprisingly, it plays a significant role in several creation myths as well, even if it has sometimes been disparaged by those who feared its capabilities. Okay. So, you did get the High Priestess. So what I'm getting from that is that I think you have been tapping into a lot of higher consciousness. If you are someone that is into creation myths, or if you are very tied to your past and those creation myths, for instance, if you're indigenous, they have their own creation myths, or if you're Nordic or maybe Irish. What I'm kind of getting a little bit more so from here is maybe Slavic or something like that, if that is the correct term. Romanian, maybe even. So again, the passage was talking about the snakes and them being able to tap into higher consciousness and represent higher beings in some type of way or shape or form, right? And being part of those creation myths, whether it's for good or for bad, whether it's feared or not, right? Oftentimes, because we are talking about the high priestess, we often fear the unknown, right? When you're dealing with the high priestess, this is someone who's able to tap into higher realms, higher beings, and often we see people in this position, you know, priestess, a witch, a healer, a shaman. Sometimes they do carry quite a negative perception about themselves, right? Well, not them about themselves, but society, more modern the society, usually they tend to demonize these kinds of beings, right? Especially when it comes to religion. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into your reading to see what all of this is about. You also had an extra card pulled as opposed to the other cards. Ooh, lifeblood, sun faith, tobacco, reciprocity. Okay. I'm kind of already seeing some things here with these cards. So I don't know if you do resonate with this or not. If you don't, or maybe you just don't know, but I feel like you are very tied to your ancestors, to your bloodline. I don't think there's any surprise that all of this came with the High Priestess. I think you are someone that can probably call themselves a priestess, a healer, a shaman, a witch, a warlock, whatever have you. Whatever name you want to call yourself, a medicine man, woman, you know, however you please. I think you carry that in your bloodline, definitely. And maybe what I'm kind of seeing from this is maybe a certain kind of religion that you have grown to follow, or that your more recent family has followed, you know, Christianity, Catholicism, what have you. There's plenty out there. Maybe because you follow that, it's kind of preventing you from accepting certain gifts a little bit more full on, you know. You do have the tobacco here, and maybe you're indigenous. Maybe you have a lot of indigenous blood, whether that's you're indigenous to you know, the Native Americas, or again, some of the things I mentioned earlier, where maybe you're tied to the Nordic indigenous, or Irish indigenous, Romanian indigenous, you know, all kind of those. There's indigenous peoples in all over the country, all over the world, and you know, whatever part that your family resides from, came from, wherever your lineage is from, I think you're very tied, very, very tied to your lineage. Maybe you don't currently live there now, where your family once came from, but I think if, you know, for instance, me, my family came from Mexico, but I do know that we have indigenous blood that comes from there. Where exactly we are, what indigenous tribe we are, I have no clue, but I have always resided with that. And I feel like maybe you are in similar shoes, where you might not fully know what that lineage is, you know, and maybe it's time for you to explore that. But I think there's a lot of gifts here that you have not tapped into, or maybe you know about them, and again, because of certain faiths that you follow, you haven't allowed yourself to really explore them. No shame at all. I mean, to each their own. If you don't feel like tapping into them, by no means do you have to. That doesn't mean you will lose them. They will always be there. It's part of your blood. What I am getting here a lot, though, is that you're very tied to some very high spirits. I feel like you're able to tap into those higher dimensions, and maybe you channel. I feel like you're definitely a channeler, and maybe you're the type of person that you could be talking, and you don't realize what you're saying sometimes, and it's because it could be those beings channeling through, sending messages to those around you. Maybe you forget what you have just said, for example. And someone will tell you, like, hey, what do you mean by this? And you're just like, what? But if it is something that you wish to tap into, I think one of the first things that you could do to start off with, whether, again, you know your lineage or not, start making small offerings. One of the things that I like doing is setting some coffee on my altar, on a table, whatever have you, and I will leave it there for them. Whatever ancestor wishes to take it, that is for them. It's one of the few things that I know I can offer, so maybe that's something small that you could start doing. Is maybe if you have something that you like, you could start setting it aside and saying, hey, you know what, this is for you too. Another thing is, if you are native to the Americas, you could try smoke cleansings. I'm not going to call it smudging because I know it's very, that's not a term that all indigenous use. But in case, like I said, you do want to try it, I say go for it. It does say tobacco. By no means does that mean you have to use it, but one of the things that I also do as well is I will keep a cigar around. I will light it a little bit and offer it to my ancestors. I will not take a puff of it because I personally do not like tobacco, but that's for them, not for me. Doesn't have to touch your body if you don't wish it to, but again, it's for your ancestors, and maybe in some way, shape, or form they have been asking for a little something, and again, if your current religion does not allow it or does not believe in this kind of stuff, by no means do you have to do it if you don't want to, but also by no means do you have to follow it, verbatim. You are your own person, and you are allowed to follow your own ideas, your own feelings, so do with that what you may. So let's continue on and get some more cards out here. Queen of Wands. If you are a female, you are definitely a witch. And I feel like one of the things that you may not realize that you channel through, or that's very connected to spirituality, is dancing, free dancing. Maybe when you're in a very happy mood, or you're kind of just minding your business, you have some music going on, or even music just in your head, you start dancing, and I feel like that's something that your ancestors really like. They quite enjoy the fact that you are just, living your best life, kind of just dancing is one of those, it's very releasing, no one can tell you how to dance. Dancing is what you wish it to be, it's a very, very self-expressive. It's very, again, releasing. Maybe it's one of the ways that you release a lot of tension in your body, and it's working. Definitely it is. So it's, again, keep doing it. Mind your business, don't let anybody come and tell you you look like a fool while you're doing it, act a fool. It's okay. I think you have some loved ones who may have passed recently. parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, an aunt, an uncle, a brother, a sister. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm not getting love from this unless you did lose someone that you were in love with. And if that's the case, just know that whoever this is on the other side, they are with you every step of the way. I feel like you feel them. Whoever these people are to you, you do feel them when they are around, and maybe you kind of try to brush it off and tell yourself that you are tripping, full on, but just know that when you get those feelings, like you're maybe being watched or that you're not alone, and obviously not in a very scary way, obviously very loving. It is the Lover's card after all. Then just know that those loved ones are making themselves known to you and letting you know that, hey, you're not alone. And I think that this happens a lot when you are alone, and not lonely, but when you are alone, kind of, again, like I said, minding your business, when you are doing you, that is when you probably feel them the most, when you're in your own energy with no one else's energy really flooding through. Okay. You are a very loved person in the spiritual realm. Know that if you do have these gifts, whether you're aware of them or not, you are fully protected and you are constantly surrounded by the energy of love. Unconditional love, that is. Higher beings love you. They love being around you. You are a very elevated soul. Definitely. Another thing that I'm picking up is that you might be needing to drink a lot more water. Maybe you're not dehydrated or anything, but maybe you also just cleanse yourself with water constantly and you're not aware that you're cleansing yourself spiritually as well. Strength. You're very powerful. Whether you feel like it or not, you are very powerful. You are a very powerful manifester. You could be someone, knowingly or unknowingly, that you protect a lot of people energetically. If you do get psychic attacks a lot, or if you notice you tend to maybe attract people that are a little bit more on the, maybe weak-minded side, or people that tend to maybe get bullied a lot or whatever, you are someone who is a protector. And I feel like that is why you are constantly surrounded by this unconditional love energy, because you are someone that loves very unconditionally. You protect your loved ones wholeheartedly. You may be someone who, maybe you seem like a very calm person, but if anyone messes with your loved ones, you will attack. You are a lion wholeheartedly. And again, if you are kind of feeling a little bit weak, a little bit more withdrawn, know that your ancestors, your lineage, your past loved ones are here to tell you, whatever state of mind that you are in, if it is a lower state of mind currently, that you are okay. You are very protected. You have the strength to get through whatever it is you're going through currently. The Empress. Again, just confirming, you are someone that holds a lot of power. But again, I feel like you might also have a mother, a grandmother energy, some kind of maternal energy that is constantly taking care of you. If this isn't someone who has passed, if this is a current mother, a current grandmother that you are around, know that they back you wholeheartedly. You know, they love you unconditionally. They do not judge you. Anybody tells you anything, they are there to cut them off. You know, they will kill somebody for you, in a sense, you know. Again, if you notice the hookah here, I feel like your ancestors are really pulling through and saying, hey, you know, we need some kind of again, the tobacco here, hookah is tobacco. Maybe they do want that offering, you know, or some kind of a smoke cleansing, in a sense. Yeah. If this is a past loved one, then if you are partaking in these kinds of things, I feel like they are telling you, you know, kind of mind how much you're intaking, but it's okay, you know, like, we don't judge. These things do hold some spiritual power to them, you know, if you're using them correctly. So, you know, don't be afraid. King of Wands. I don't think this is in a bad way, but I also think like you have a very jokester energy around you, someone that likes to kind of play pranks around you. You know, if you've placed something down and, you know, step away for a minute and come back and it's gone, this could be, you know, a friendly joking spirit, you know, and obviously a male too. I'm almost getting a dad energy, not grandfather, not brother, not spouse. It's definitely coming off as dad, you know, almost like that kind of dad prankstery kind of a thing. So if you did lose your dad, or a father figure of some sort, know that they are with you, and, you know, just like in life, they do like messing with you a little bit, but all in good fun. I don't think that they have done anything to where you should be or would have been afraid. Maybe you kind of, if you did lose someone recently that was a father figure to you, and, you know, and they kind of maybe did pranks like that in life, you kind of laugh it off and say, oh, you know, I know it's you. and you know, they just know that they hear you, and they do kind of mess with you a little bit, all in good fun, of course. And I think it's because if you have been taking life a little bit too seriously, they are kind of here to tell you, hey, you know, have a laugh, it's okay, don't be so hard on yourself. You have a lot of family energy coming through, and again, it's no surprise, lifeblood. I almost wonder, you know, if maybe while you're in the shower, you kind of think about them a lot, and if you do, then know that they are saying, hey, we're here. Don't worry about it, you know. Chariot. But yeah, you definitely have a lot of family channeling through. This is someone young, definitely a young woman. I don't think it's anyone that you have lost anytime recently, because that is not what I'm picking up right now. I think that this is someone, or not someone. What I'm almost getting here is more of a past life. I feel like your past life is kind of coming in to tell you, hey, you got this. You know, we did it in the past, we can do it now. If you are currently grieving a loss, just know that this too shall pass. You know, you have this. Of course, it's the Chariot, and, you know, right away. Yeah. If you have instances or certain memories that don't really quite fit in with your current life, I think that you do kind of channel through to a past life. Obviously a good amount of a past life ago, you know, and from time to time, I think you do channel that through, and it's mostly in moments where maybe you have a lot of self-doubt and stuff. Maybe when it comes to everything in general and the spiritual realm, you might cast a lot of doubt on yourself, and I feel like your past life is kind of coming in to tell you, hey, this is real. Stop doubting yourself. We're all here. You feel us all. Don't doubt yourself. I'll pull one more card. Seven of Swords. I feel like this is probably something that you haven't shared with too many people. Maybe you feel like you would get cast too much judgment if you were to tell someone, hey, I'm into spirituality, I'm into spirits, I'm into, maybe you know that you channel things. Maybe you're pretty, I think you protect yourself a lot from that kind of a judgment, and just know that if that is the case, there is so many communities within that spiritual realm that, in life, not necessarily in the spiritual realm, but within the spiritual aspect of things that, they will not judge you. We are not here to judge you. Here, I'm here doing this thing, so I'm kind of succumbing myself to the same kinds of judgments, because there is a lot of doubt. A lot of people that, again, because of faith, because of religion, they do not allow or want to believe in this kind of stuff. And I think that's kind of where you're at right now, where maybe the people around you feel like you can't open up to about this. And so you kind of just keep to yourself, kind of ready to use those swords if you know you need to. And I think that's why you kind of keep to yourself a lot. But just know that Eight of Wands, your spiritual team, in a sense, would hurt anybody that would cast that judgment onto you. So I feel like you don't need to be in full arms yourself. You're very protected. I don't know if you've ever maybe paid attention to this, but if someone does something to you that has a lot of negativity aimed at you, maybe kind of step back a little bit, see the bigger picture, and I bet you'll start seeing people start get their karma back, and that is full on your ancestors. Not in a bad way, but I don't know if you've ever seen this or heard this. I've run into this pretty constantly, where it says, I might not do something to you, but I also don't control my ancestors. And I think that's definitely the case here. Your ancestors are going to do whatever they have to keep you protected. Okay, so I think that's it for pile 3. I hope you like this reading, and I hope you come back. Thank you.